A lot of us, maybe I'm speaking for myself or for a lot of people, but I love cottage gardens. I hope that you do. So in this video, I will be sowing a lot of cottage garden flower seeds, or what I consider cottage flower essentials. Come with me while I sow a whole bunch of seeds. I am very excited for the gardening season. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny and I garden in a zone 6B here in southeastern Massachusetts. Today I wanted to take you with me while I sow a whole bunch of flower seeds that I consider cottage garden essentials. So my seed tray is full. I have a 72 tray right in front of me and it is packed with pre-moistened soil. I will show you all what I am sowing for seeds. I have a variety of seeds here that I picked up from Johnny's Seeds as well as Swallowtail Garden Seeds. I have 3 varieties of seeds that I am sowing. I'm sowing my Snapdragons, my Foxgloves, and one kind of Lupine. I have already sowed Snapdragons and Lupine in my winter sowing, so click on my winter sowing jug method video and you will see a lot of seeds that I started there with that method, but I am also going to be starting seeds inside just so I can have a surplus amount of seeds. And I plan to also give my aunt a makeover for her garden, so it'll be exciting to have some seeds like lupine. Maybe they'll do really great and come back for her every year, so I'm excited to do that for her. And foxgloves, I'm also going to scatter foxgloves in her garden, just so that maybe she can have foxgloves for the upcoming years. So yeah, let's start with what I am sowing. So we'll start with the foxgloves. Foxgloves, also known as digitalis. The first variety that I sowed in my winter sowing method is, this one is called Pink Gin. The second one is called Snow Thimble. And so Snow Thimble has pure white spikes of 2 to 3 inches, pendulous flowers in late spring and summer. Grows 3 to 4 feet tall, a great vertical accent for shady borders. And I actually didn't know that foxgloves like shade. And I have a lot of shade areas in my gardens. I live in back of a pine grove, so there's pretty much a lot of shaded areas in the west side of my house as well as the north side. So I plan to add a lot of these foxgloves into those shaded areas this year. And then the next one that I've grown before and I definitely wanted to get is the Dalmatian Peach Hybrid Foxglove. And this one is compact, 2 to 3 feet tall, produces reliable first year creamy peach bells in late spring and summer. Remove old flowers first year, blooms heavily following year. So I'm excited because I did see that it was a more compact plant and it did bloom very pretty, but it wasn't like so striking. It was beautiful, but I expected a lot more va-va-voom. I don't know. So it's promising that it says that it will bloom heavily the next year because that's what I need and that's what I want. So I'm counting on you, honey. All right. Let's move on with the one variety of lupine that I am growing. This one is called the Governor. And the Governor is a classic lupine, produced dramatic 40-inch perfect blue and white bicolor flower spikes in late spring and early summer. Blooms the first year when started early. Will grow in sun or light shade. So I'm very excited for this because blue is a color that I always want to incorporate in my gardens. And I love that things like lupine and foxglove, some varieties do bloom in the first year. A lot of them are biennials, so it means that it will put some growth out the first year and the second year will flower and seed all over the garden, hopefully reseed itself. but the plant dies after the second year. So you can collect the seeds and start them indoors, or hopefully they will reseed themselves. But some varieties will actually flower the first year, and I tend to order a lot of seeds that will flower the first year, because who doesn't want flowers the first year, honey? Hello. All right. So the next group of seeds that I will be sowing are the Snapdragons. So the first variety that I have also grown last year, but I didn't really do a good job because I put them in like these tiny pots. Don't know why I did that. I should have just put them directly into the garden. But the first variety is Madame Butterfly, and this one is called Cherry Bronze. So I'm actually lying. I did not grow Cherry Bronze. I actually grew Madame Butterfly Pink in pots. And so this is the second variety that I am growing, and that I will be growing again. So the Cherry Bronze is a new one for me, and I'm very excited because these say 24 inches tall snapdragons produce a wealth of large, completely double azalea shaped blooms in cherry pink with apricot bronze accents. They are superb for cutting. So that's exciting because I love apricot in the garden as well. A lot of my roses are apricot, and I love how apricot complements with purple. And so that's just my theme, like apricots, purples, blues. I don't know. I'm a sucker for those colors. So those are the variety of seeds that I plan to grow indoors. And of course, there's a whole other set of seeds that I plan to grow indoors, flower seeds, and that will be in my next video, so stay tuned. I also like to add mosquito bits into my potting soil because the fungus gnats are a pain in the you-know-what. So I just sprinkle a little bit of this in. I actually mix it in while I'm mixing my soil, but I didn't do that, so I'll just add a little bit over the top and mix it in slightly. Okay, let's start with the snapdragons. I think that by far snapdragons are just like gorgeous, breathtaking. All of these seeds need to be surface sowed. They need light to germinate, and these seeds are super, super tiny. So just like, look at how tiny the packet is. Like, it's like tiny. So let's see. It's easy to kind of overseed these. I always make sure that I make my tags with the date and the variety of seed that I am sowing, just to make sure that I don't get lost in the sauce, and especially because I am sowing a lot of seeds. Next we'll do Madame Butterfly. This is the pink one that I have sowed before. Look at how tiny seeds. I know one thing's for sure is that this year I'm going to make sure to really collect a lot of seeds from my snapdragons, because these seeds are expensive, kind of, but there's just like not a lot of them in the packets, and collect a lot of seeds that are from beautiful varieties. That would be great because I'm saving and I can have a bunch of seeds. I feel like I run out of snapdragon seeds since they're so tiny and so hard to sow very quickly. All right, next we will sow the lupine. The lupine seeds are pretty big, and they say to nick them or to soak them. I honestly am really bad at doing that. I just kind of make sure that I keep the soil nice and moist. I obviously put vermiculite over all of my seeds, and that allows the soil to not dry out so fast, and it also allows a light to go through to make sure that these seeds germinate, because like I said before, these seeds need light to germinate. Just making sure that I pat down the soil so I know that there is no air pockets, and I just plop the lupine seeds right on top. These are pretty easy, and I'll do one in each tray. Honestly, I really don't like these seeds. They look like ticks to me, and I live in a wooded lot, so I don't know, PTSD or something, you know. But whatevs. Alright, the next one is pink gin, but before I do that, I am going to eat in front of you guys. I am having a late night dinner. This is like Dominican kind of like pickled onions with tuna and sweet plantain mash. It's like a late night dinner for me, and I need to get something in my stomach. Sorry. With the foxglove, honestly, the seeds are so tiny that you don't even know like if you're actually sowing them or not, but you just pray to God that you do what you gotta do. Just sprinkle it up in there, honey. And wish for the best. So that was pink gin. It's like I run out of the seed packets so quickly. And it's like all of the like best looking varieties always have like a little bit of seeds in them. I guess you can't have it all. The next one is Snow Thimble, and I'm excited for this one. This one is an all-white foxglove, and I just think that like all-white foxgloves are so ethereal, and they are quintessential for a cottage garden. And I have a big project this year. I'm actually tearing up one of my gardens and making it into a more cottage garden style and making it less uniformed, because I made the mistake of just adding a whole bunch of the same roses in a row, and it's in an even number, and in gardening we actually want to have odd numbers, which I didn't know that in the beginning. And also just like honestly, it looks a mess. So I'm going to tear it down. I'm going to add less structure, organize it better, and cut out into the lawn to a more nice shape. If you can hear my canaries in the background, it is breeding season for canaries, and I will make a separate video and introduce you all to my two canaries, Gigi and JJ, and take you on a process on them and what is going on with them in the breeding season. They have right now 3 eggs. I'm hoping for 5, but we will see. Anyways, let's get back to it. All right, Snow Thimble. We got a lot of seeds for Snow Thimble, honey. They wasn't cheap with the Snow Thimble. Ooh. Ooh, oh my God. That's like a lot of seeds that I just scattered. And honestly, like, if I have extra seedlings, what I will do is that I will move them into their own separate tray and replenish trays that did not sprout up. So that was Snow Thimble. Snow Thimble, I have a lot of it, and I am actually going to winter sow Snow Thimble. it's a tongue twister for me. Last but not least, we will be sowing. Sorry, I'm just pressing down some of the soil. And sometimes, like, the soil comes with these big ass pieces of bark that I do not like, and I see why people sometimes sift their soil. Dalmatian Peach Hybrid. Foxglove came pelleted, and all of the seeds are in these little pelleted balls. I think that they're made out of clay, and it just makes it easier for you to sow your foxglove seeds. So one in each flat. I'm gonna do one because I don't have a lot of these, and I will winter sow some. The little container that it came in is so cute. It looks like a little pipetting valve. I have my vermiculite, and I am going to sprinkle a thin layer of vermiculite on top of all of my tray. This just makes sure that the soil stays nice and moist, and I don't have to water it 24 hours a day. And it also lets light in. I found that when I don't use vermiculite and I surface sow, I have a hard time getting germination. I think it also makes sure that the seeds press into the soil the way that it needs to in order for you to get them to germinate. So here we go. All right, you guys, so I just finished sowing all of my seeds. Thank you so much for joining me on this process. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. And I will make some videos along the way on what is going on with these seedlings, if they sprouted, if they didn't, what's going on with them, and putting them out in the garden. As you can see, my lights have turned off and I am clocking out. See you in the next one. Mwah.